I'm not going to quote everything that Deontay Wilder has said in this article. I'll leave it to you guys to go and read the article if you want, because Wilder's pretty much repeating things that he's already said in 1,000 other interviews lately. So I'm not going to quote him. What I will say is I'll briefly touch on the whole situation. Wilder has reportedly come out and said that he wants 50% of the purse to face Anthony Joshua. I don't know how true that is. If that is true, do you think that's reasonable? He says, well, I've got a belt, so I deserve 50%, etc. As I've mentioned in previous videos, it's not about whether you got a belt or not. It's about who's putting up the money for the fight. If you want to put up the money for the fight, then you can start talking about, I want 50%. If you're willing to put up the money, and willing to put up money which guarantees Joshua at least as much as he normally gets, if not a bit more, if not a lot more, because it is a unification, it's a dangerous fight, it's reasonable for Joshua to want more than he normally gets. So can Team Wilder put up that kind of money? As far as I'm aware, as far as Eddie Hearn has said, they haven't even made an offer. Why haven't they made an offer? Because they don't have the money to make an offer. If they make an offer, it would likely be for a fight in the US. How are they going to generate the kind of numbers that Anthony Joshua has been generating in the UK? In the US, neither Wilder nor Joshua are massive stars in the US. So how are they going to sell that? How are they actually going to put up all the money that it would take to pay both fighters and then make a profit on top of it? Because that's what it comes down to when you're talking about promoters and, in this case, Wilder's advisor, Al Heyman. I'm sure if they gathered all their money together, they could come up with the money for the fight. But in their minds, they're thinking, we need to make a profit from it. It's not just about putting the fight on. This is a business. We need to make a profit. Would this fight make a profit at all? Would it make a loss? Would it make a decent enough profit to make it worthwhile with all the time and effort that we're going to put in? Let's say they come up with the money for the fight and they only make, I don't know, $500,000 profit on top of it. That's no good, is it? So this is the thing. When it comes to demanding 50%, can you come up with the money for the fight? Can you make an offer? If you can, then I guess demanding 50% is reasonable. But if you can't and you're just looking at Eddie Hearn like, yo, pay us the money, you're in no position to be demanding 50%. That's just the reality of it. Like, let's think about it logically. You're in no position to be doing that. And that's where we're at the moment. If Wilder hasn't been talking about 50%, correct me on it. You let me know exactly what percentage he really does want. Anthony Joshua versus Deontay Wilder, 30% maybe. I mean, Eddie Hearn has been saying that he knows that he's going to have to overpay Deontay Wilder. He's going to have to pay him way above what he should be paying him based on his market value. So he's aware of that. But how much is overpaying Wilder? Is it 30%? Is it 35%? Is that overpaying him? Eddie Hearn has supposedly scoffed and laughed at Joseph Parker's team for proposing a 60-40 split between Parker and Joshua in Joshua's favor. 60% Joshua, 40% Parker. So you have to imagine it could be a similar situation with Joshua and Deontay Wilder, where Eddie Hearn don't see 60-40 as realistic. 70-30? Maybe. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. And with all this back and forth between all these different parties involving Joshua and Deontay Wilder and Joseph Parker, does this mean that the unifications are not going to happen in 2018? Because nobody seems to be happy. Let me know what you think in the comment section, people. It's happening. I'm out.